Good morning, everybody. I am in the garden. It's actually about 10 o'clock, I think, already. And this week it's supposed to get really hot and fairly dry, but also we are almost exactly 12 weeks out from our first frost date here in Western Maryland. The expected first frost is October 18th, and that's 12 weeks from tomorrow or Wednesday, I think. Today's July 24th. So we are in the final stretch if we want to plant anything for a fall harvest. So one thing that I'm going to be replanting is our broccoli. I'll show that to you here. So we've been harvesting off of this broccoli all summer. We cut the main heads and then we've got lots of little side shoots. We've harvested them 3 or 4 times. The plants are looking a little rough though, and if I go ahead and replant seeds direct sow in here, we should get broccoli again before the frost. And then we did just plant more beans. This is definitely the last time I can plant beans in the garden, and that was where we had dug some of our red chieftain potatoes. But today I've got my gloves and my apron, and I'm going to go ahead and pull the rest of these potatoes. They could technically go longer. They are dying, but they're not completely dead. The 2 rows that I already dug were, but they're at the end. Definitely getting there. But we don't harvest these potatoes as a storage potato. We grow potatoes to get us through like the rest of the summer and maybe early fall, and then we will buy storage varieties from a local farmer. We'll buy like russets or something like that. But we do like to can a lot of these potatoes for over the winter. So that's the main reason that we grow potatoes. And the ones I've harvested, even off these plants that are still a little green, have been plenty big. They do still have pretty thin skins, so they're going to have to be used fairly quickly. But this is an area where I can replant things for a fall harvest. These potatoes aren't going to get a lot bigger. They'll just get more mature. So for me, it makes sense to go ahead and pull them, dig them out, and then I can plant some short season crops in there. Some more beets, because we're still not getting a good result on beets. One patch got kind of overrun with a squash plant. The other patch the bunnies were eating off, and I don't know, that may still be a problem. But things like kohlrabi, greens, I need to pull some greens in the main garden. We have spinach back here that has definitely bolted. It needs to be pulled out and new planted. Just some things that we can still grow for a fall harvest. We have a small hoop house on the raised beds in the front yard, and nothing really did very well in there. I'm going to kind of till that up a little bit, plant some cabbage seeds in there, and then cover it with bug netting. And I think I can still get, especially if I choose one of the smaller varieties, I think I can still get cabbage before winter. But we're going to go ahead. You can see where I pulled the 2 rows over here, and I replanted those with beans that will be dried beans. And when you grow dried beans or beans for dried beans, we have black-eyed peas, pinto beans, black beans, and then these cranberry beans, which is what I replanted there too. They're so easy because all you do is put them in the ground, let them grow, let them die. The beans, the pods will form on the plants, and then when the plants die and those are dry, you just shell them, and then we'll probably just can ours to make sure that there's no moisture left in them if we would leave them dry and they would happen to rot or something like that. But that's an easy thing. Plant it, forget about it until it dies. So we've got those 2 in there, but we're going to go ahead and pull this, and I'm going to show you what we get. I will show you a real quick overview of how much is left. We've harvested about 1/3 of it, and that was close to 2 5-gallon buckets. But you don't know. I mean, a couple of these, there were some potatoes that were kind of coming up out of the ground, and I just went ahead and pulled those, grabbled them, you would say. So I don't know how many we're going to get. It's like a friend said, digging for buried treasure. That's definitely how it feels whenever you're digging potatoes. So let's get this started. I feel like it's really hard to see exactly where things are, especially with the sun coming in. But basically, here's row 1, row 2 of what we harvested. There is still this whole row of plants that are dying that are going to get pulled out. There's a section down here at the end of the garden, and then there's actually 3 rows coming up here. Basically, the things that look really tall and green, they're all weeds. So we're just going to pull these out and be done with them and replant before that opportunity has passed. I got my gloves because I don't like to dig with a shovel or anything like that. I just use my hands. And you can see over here, there was a few this morning that I saw that were just above ground or that the plants were completely dead. And I just pulled a few of them out. So now we're going to pull the rest of these and see what we get. We'll also have to pull, of course, the weeds out and make a pile somewhere. You can kind of see I'd been laying all of the discarded stuff between the rows. So we will get all that pulled out as well. So this is what it's looking like now. We have everything done except these last 2 rows. And we've just been kind of digging them out and putting them in piles along the way. And we're also making the row as we go so that I can replant. So we've got potatoes all along. These little ones over here didn't seem like they did real well. And I think maybe it was just that they're so much in the sun. I'm not sure. But we have smaller potatoes there. These ones were bigger. So now we just have these last couple to get out of there. And then we can gather them all up.
Probably this big.
A little bit more to go.
Have you been doing buses with us?
It was kind of just it wasn't really an extra row down there. It was just
A couple potatoes. Looks like another row.
Phew.
Oh, looking at it.
You really wanna be? I just pull.
There's a pile of potatoes on here. On top of a bunch of potatoes. Ah, stab it. Ooh.
Abby didn't last long.
I'm not super surprised.
She's still little.
Yeah.
Almost done. Last little bit. All done, and it looks so bare.
Yeah.
That part still looks green. This one hopefully will be green again. Hopefully we don't forget where we've planted the beans in here. They're marked, yeah, they're marked with the rocks over here. Sort of see them. That one's a little bit out of the way, but I have them marked down there where they end. Maybe we should weigh these.
good scale.
Aaron, pick one up. See how heavy you think it is.
What, one?
Yeah, pick one of them up. No, not the potato. Like one box.
Oh. So you're saying like I was gonna get the biggest potato?
How heavy do you think that one is?
3 pounds.
3 pounds? I think it's way heavier than that. 3 pounds would be like 3 cans of vegetables.
Yeah, I think
They
it's
got
over 3
more than that then.
What do you think, Emma?
It's over 3 pounds.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe 20 pounds in there, probably. Probably another
least
20
10.
pounds in that. Is that about similar?
Yeah. Feels the same.
Maybe another 15 or 20 in there.
Similar or more?
Is it heavier?
It feels the same.
Watch, you're stepping on beans. So our plan was to do all of the potato harvest and then start replanting some things. But it's hot and it's Evie's birthday, and so we've decided that we are going to go to the lake instead. I've got all of our swim stuff laid out, and we're just waiting on Dan to get home, and then we're going to take the 2 vehicles that have air conditioning back to the lake and enjoy an evening there. There's always work to do, but the memories you make as a family need to come first. They're priceless, you know, whenever the kids are grown. So we're just going to go and have a picnic and enjoy an evening on the water.